Yes, now I think it's okay. Accepted her seclusion with resignation. It means the grandmother accepted a lonely life. So when the author went up to university, he was given a separate room. Then the author's grandmother, she accepted the her lonely life. She rarely let her spinning wheel. She rarely left her spinning wheel to talk to anyone. She would remain busy in spinning wheel, and she usually talked to anyone. She rarely left her spinning wheel to talk to anyone. She mostly remained herself busy in spinning the wheel, and she rarely talked to anyone. From sunrise to sunset, she sat by her wheel, spinning and reciting prayers. So, from sunrise to sunset, she sat by her wheel, spinning and reciting prayers. Only in the afternoon she relaxed for a while to feed the sparrows. Only in the afternoon she got time for feeding the sparrows. That time she was taking rest, and she was feeding sparrows. Rest of the time she would remain busy in spinning the wheel and reciting the prayers. Only the afternoon she relaxed for a while to feed the sparrows. While she sat in the veranda, breaking the bread into little bits, hundreds of little birds collected round her, creating a veritable bedlam of chirpings. Veritable bedlam of chirping means noise and confusion caused by chirping of birds. Noise and confusion caused by chirping of birds. So many birds, they used to collect and used to chirp. Some came and perched on her head. Some birds came and they perched on her legs, others on her shoulders. Some even sat on her hand. She smiled but never shooed them away. The grandmother, she used to, some birds, when she used to offer them the crumbs of the bread, then some birds used to come and used to sit on her head. So she just smiled but never shoot them away. It used to be a happiest half hour of the day for her. So this was the happiest half hour for her. Okay. So this was the happiest half hour for her. When I decided to go abroad for further studies, when the author decided to go for abroad, author Khushwant Singh, when he decided to go abroad for further studies, I was sure my grandmother would be upset, and he was sure that his grandmother would be upset because he was going abroad. but my grandmother could. Okay, I would be away for 5 years. At her age, uh, one could never tell. So narrator say, the author says that as he was going abroad, so he was not sure whether he would come back, or when he would come back, he would be able to see her grandmother or not. But when he came back, sorry, so the author wants to tell us that when he was going to abroad, no one could predict that when he would come back, he would find her grandmother alive or not, because her grandmother grew very old, and at that age, no one could predict. But my grandmother could. But the author Khushwant Singh says that, but his grandmother could predict. She was not even sentimental. So author's grandmother was not sentimental. She came to leave me at the railway station, but did not talk or show any emotion. Further, the author says that author's grandmother came to see him off at the railway station, but she did not show any emotion. Her lips moved in prayer. Her mind was lost in prayer. So she was completely busy in her prayer, but she said nothing. Her fingers were busy telling the beads of her rosary. So her fingers were busy, telling the beads of her rosary means, her fingers were busy. It is in Hindi, माला जपने में उनकी fingers busy थी. Silently she kissed my forehead, and when I left, cherished the moist imprint as perhaps the last sign of physical contact between us. So cherished means protect or care for, lovingly. Okay, so he protected that imprint as if it is going to be the last physical contact between them. But that was not so. But it was not like that. After 5 years, I came back home and was met by her at the station. But when after 5 years, when the narrator came back, then he found her grandmother at the station. She came to receive him at the station. She did not look a day older. So even now, after 5 years, now it has become 25 years, but she did not look even a day older. She still had no time for words, and while she clasped me in her arms, I could hear her reciting her prayers. So when the author's grandmother, she clasped the narrator into her arm, narrator still could see her reciting her prayers. Even on the first day on my arrival, her happiest moments were with her sparrows, whom she fed longer with the frivolous rebuke. Frivolous rebuke means light-hearted scolding. Even on the first day of my arrival. Even on the first day of narrator's arrival, her happiest moment were her happiest moments were with her sparrows. She was spending her happiest moments with the sparrows, whom she fed longer with frivolous rebukes, whom she used to feed with light-hearted scolding. So she was busy doing that. In the evening, a change came over her. So on the day when the narrator came on that evening, he could see a change in her. What was the change? She did not pray. That day she did not pray. She collected a women of the neighborhood, got an old drum and started to sing. So she collected the woman of the neighborhood and she got an old drum and she started to sing. For several hours she thumbed the sagging skins of the dilapidated drum. So here sagging skin of dilapidated drum means the loose surface of the drum. So it was in bad condition, the drum was in bad condition, and she kept on beating the loose surface of the drum and sang of the homecoming of warriors. And she was singing the song of homecoming of the warriors. We had to persuade her to stop to avoid overstraining. So author had to stop her from overdoing the things, from overstraining. That was the first time since I had known her that she did not pray. So author says that it was the first time since the narrator knew her, she did not pray. The next morning she was taken ill. The next morning the grandmother was taken ill. It was a mild fever and the doctor told us that it could go. It was mild fever, light fever, and the doctor told that it would go very soon. But the grandmother thought differently. But the grandmother used to think differently. She told us that her end was near. She told that her end was near. She said that since only a few hours before the close of the last chapter of her life, she had omitted to pray. So she said that just before the last hour of her life, she did not pray. She was not going to waste any more time talking to us. She said that as she did not pray, so she was not going to waste her time in talking to them. We protested. So the author and author's family, they protested, but she ignored our protest. She lay peacefully in bed praying and telling her beads. They protested, but she was not ready. Even after their protest, she went for praying and she laid on the bed and she was just beating the beads of the rosary and she was praying. But she ignored our protest. She lay peacefully in bed and telling her beads. Even before we could suspect, her lips stopped moving and the rosary fell from her lifeless fingers. Even before they could suspect, the rosary fell from her lifeless fingers and her lips stopped moving. A peaceful pallor spread on her face, and we knew that she was dead. Okay, so finally, grandmother was dead. We lifted her off the bed, and it is customary. Customary means tradition. So they lifted her as customary, as uh, the tradition allows. They uh, took off her from the bed. They lifted off her. Uh, they lifted off the bed. Sorry, they lifted her off the bed, and is customary, and as it is the tradition, laid her on the ground. They laid her on the ground and covered her with a red shroud, and she was covered with red shroud. Shroud means cloth which is used for covering the body. It is kafan. It is called kafan in Hindi. After a few hours of mourning, we left her alone to make arrangements for her funeral. After a few hours of mourning, after few hours of expressing the grief, they left her alone to make arrangements for her funeral. In the evening, we went to her room with crude stretcher. So in the evening, they went to her room with a roughly made stretcher to take her to be cremated. Crude means roughly made. Okay, to take her to be cremated. The sun was setting and had its her room and veranda with a blaze of golden light. We stopped halfway in the courtyard, all over the veranda, in her room, right up to where she lay dead and stiff, wrapped in the red shroud. Thousands of sparrows sat scattered on the floor. So when the author's grandmother died, they took her off the bed, and her dead body was laying on the ground in the veranda. Then they could see thousands of the birds. They came and they were sitting in the veranda. Thousands of birds on that day, when the narrator's grandmother died, thousands of birds whom she used to feed the pieces of bread. So they came and they sat in the in the veranda, where the dead body was wrapped in the red shroud. But there was no chirping. Earlier, when the birds used to come, they were chirping. But this time there was no chirping. The birds were not chirping. They were sitting there quietly. So here the author wants to tell us that even if you love an animal, so animal also has the animals and birds have also some emotion. So they are not emotionless. They understand your love. So the way she used to love, they got it, and that is why those birds were, understanding each and everything. There was no chirping. We felt sorry for the birds, and my mother fetched some bread for them. Then they felt sorry for the birds. The author's grandmother, she used to feed the pieces of the chapatis to the other pieces of the bread to those birds. So that is why the author as well as the author's family members, they were feeling sad. And author's mother went and she brought the breads, and She broke it into little crumbs. She broke the breads into little pieces. She broke the bread into little pieces